Good morning and welcome to another episode of A Trini in Atlanta. It's 9:29, 9:30. I'm starting early. Today is my daughter's 35th birthday celebration. Not her birthday, but a celebration. And I am making some lunch because she's doing it at her pool house at her subdivision. And she's invited her cousins and some friends. So today we are starting with stewed chicken that I had initially seasoned and have it marinated with the Trini green seasoning, some ketchup, some onion, some garlic, some pimento peppers, some tomato, some soy sauce, and it's here. It's been marinated for a few days. I'm going to stew it down here, and we're going to start with that this morning. Now this most likely will be a two-part video because I am cooking a number of dishes that will be too long to put in one video. So I'm waiting right now because you see I add a little of the avocado oil to the pot, and I'm waiting for the chicken, the sugar to caramelize. And I think it's good. If I wait any longer, it will start to darken too much, and I don't want that. So I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to do this here now. We're going to let this caramelize right here for a few minutes and let it cook out there. Okay, let that cook there. I'm going to rinse out this for a second. I'm just going to rinse out this with just a couple drops of water, and then I'm going to put this in the sink for here for now, and then put some soap in my hands because I just used chicken. So you want to soap your hands when you use chicken. And I'm going to let this brown. Let this start to color here. While this is starting to cook, well, this will take quite a while because it's a lot of chicken. The chicken is a little bit cold because it was in the refrigerator because I had seasoned it, and I'm still sipping. As I said, it's only 9:30. So I am sipping my coffee, and while I'm doing that, I'm also going to start taking care of some potato salad that I have here. I have this bowl here that I've already boiled some potatoes. I added the American sweet potatoes to this as well, and some peas and carrot. I have some of those organic blue eggs. You see, it's beautiful. I'm going to chip this up into this bowl for the potato salad. Inside here, just have the potato, the sweet potato, the peas and carrot, and I added a little salt to the water and I let it boil. I started the potato cooking with the water at room temperature, added the potato at the same time, and let both came up to boil together. So that is for there. Inside this bowl, there is a little celery that I grind it in the food processor, and a little onions. So I'm going to get a spoon, and I'm going to add everything to this pot here. I'm going to add this to this pot, this little bowl, from this pot to this little bowl, like this. I'm going to add this here. So everything is inside here, and I'm done with this. I'm going to get me some mayonnaise, and I'm going to add some mayonnaise to that, And then I'm going to taste it as I go ahead and see what it is it will need. I'm going to use out this little mayonnaise because this is almost done. So I'm going to use out this little mayonnaise here. This little mayonnaise. Use out this little so I could completely finish this one. And then I'm going to add some more from the new bottle, from the new jar. This is done. So I'm going to discard this one. And then I'm going to open this. So this already have some grated celery, some salt, and some mayonnaise. I'm just going to just mix this together and see how wet it comes. Definitely I need more mayonnaise. Definitely I need more mayonnaise. So I'm going to use some. This I like Hellmann's, but you could use whatever mayonnaise you like. I truly like it. So that's about, I would say about 4 spoonfuls, tablespoonfuls. I have put 1 from the first bottle and 3 from this bottle. I'm going to turn this up and then I'm going to taste it, add some black pepper and some greenery and see how it goes. So last night we had a little party at a friend's house and we didn't drink much or anything because we know we had this to do today, but we had a wonderful time. I met some old friends. So this morning I want to say hello to Marina. I want to shout out to my girlfriend Marina and Lauren and Carmelita and April, whose birthday, her 50th birthday it was. And Nigel for putting the party together. It was amazing. It was so nice. After COVID, everybody had stopped gathering because things had gotten so crazy and people were dying because we knew somebody who actually passed from it. So people had stopped going about too much. So it was nice to take a minute to get back together. It was really, really nice. So I want to just say hi. Marina was sharing a story with me, and she said that when she saw me need a flour in the KitchenAid, she went and she bought a KitchenAid, but she didn't realize when she was needing the flour that the KitchenAid will move. Let me taste this. That's good, but it needs a little more oof. So she said she didn't realize that the KitchenAid moved, and she have her home office because she works from home now, like a lot of people do. So she went to her home office. I do not think this need any more mayonnaise. It doesn't. It need more flavor, but no more mayonnaise. So she put up her flour to knead, and she went to her office, and the whole machine fell. She said she heard this big noise, and the whole KitchenAid had fallen to the floor while kneading the flour. But she was so grateful that she had found a way to knead flour that she doesn't have to do it. Because I don't know, now I'm seeing people like 15, 20, half an hour meals. It's very difficult to come home after a long day. And I know that I have it better than most people because I have food at the restaurant. But sometimes I have to cook because I am diabetic. My husband has hypertension, and we can't eat the same food every single day. So I have to cook. So I understand what they're saying. Sometimes you just want to come home and get something quick on the table that you like, that tastes good and good for you in as quick as you can, as possible as quick time as you can. So I'm going to get the black pepper and add it to this, and I'm going to get some greenery, and I'm thinking that may need a little. I'm going to put some of this this honey Dijon mustard in it. I think it needs a little mustard, just a little, maybe a tablespoon of mustard into that. Now I know there are some people who put pickles and that's fine too. I have done it before and it does taste nice, but my daughter would not forgive me if I go so completely off script for Trini food. She she will go crazy because she wants this and this is what she expect. She expects home. So let me get the black pepper. This chicken is still coming up. It have to let go all that fresh water. And we are going to see how it goes from there. Now, some people put butter in theirs, and that's fine too. It tastes really good. I have done that before. So I am putting some black pepper, and I think it wants a little salt. I always like to throw salt in my hand because that way I can control how much I'm putting in it, because when I just let it go, I don't know how much there is in it. So before I am done this, I am going to add some of the greenery to it, so that this is a mixture of green onions and celery. That's all. Green onions and celery. So I'm just going to put a little bit, and then I'm going to turn this up. And I'm going to say for the most part this is done. This is done. I'm going to taste it one more time for the salt, but I don't think it needs any more. So as you can see, this was only mayonnaise. It was like, not a lot, maybe 4 tablespoons, some salt, some Dijon mustard, which is optional, some Dijon mustard, which is optional, and some black pepper together with this. I already cut up this for the fried rice and the chow mein, so I just add. But if I didn't cut up this for the fried rice, I would still add some celery, because for me, celery is a big part of potato salad. If you don't have celery in potato salad, it does not, and onion, it does not cut it. It doesn't taste like potato salad. That's it. It's done. It's completely done. Oh, I had a foil pan somewhere for this, so I'll find it later, and we're going to add this because it will be easier to take these things in a foil pan to our daughter, or maybe I might just take it in this bowl and I might just serve it like that. So I am going to neaten up everything here, neaten up the bowl, and wipe out everything, and maybe just take it like this and serve, because it doesn't look too bad serving like this, and it might be easier to take with us like this. So just left that here. Take this, 2 of these, and then do some neatening. Okay, so that is good. That is done. This is completely, totally done. It was, that's not it. That's it. That's it. This is done. This is the potato salad, and this is done. So you just cut up, you peel some potatoes. You could add the sweet potatoes, the American sweet potatoes like I did, or you don't have to add it. I added to mine because I like the color that it gives it. It gives it a lot of color. So you have the green, you have the orange, you have the white of the potatoes. So you peel the potatoes, you cube them, both potatoes, and you boil them maybe 10-15 minutes. Strain it with, I boil mine with the peas and carrot, the frozen peas and carrot. And then I boil the eggs separated. I put 4 eggs in this, and I peel everything together. As you see, I mixed everything. So total, this should take about as long as it takes to boil the potato, because after to mix it is only minutes. It's not a long thing. So I am done with this. So we're going to put this aside here, because this is done and ready to go. And I'm going to see what is happening with this. This is cooking. This is cooking. This is a big pot of cold chicken, so this will take a while. And while this is cooking up, I am still sipping my coffee. My husband is going to leave the camera there, and I'm going to ask him again, would you like some breakfast? And I will, you can leave that there and I'll take care of it, see about it. So as you can tell here, I have my noodles boiled for my chow mein. I have my noodles boiled for my chow mein. I have my vegetables for my fried rice. The fried rice is in the outside refrigerator. We have to bring in the rice. And I have, see how life gets easy? This is a mixture of ginger and garlic. So I have these. Oh, it smells so good. And you could use this. This is I usually make this. It's a garlic butter. It's Kerrygold butter. And I peel a lot of garlic. I peel a lot of garlic. Maybe a pound of garlic, maybe more. And I roast them with a little olive oil in the oven on low heat until it comes apart. Then I put it into this this mixer here, and I pound them up. I'm pounding them up, I pound them up, and then I use the butter and I mix it together and I make a garlic butter. So this is what it is. It's a garlic butter, and I use it mostly in Japanese and Chinese food, just for an extra flavor. Because I noticed when I would go to Benihana's, that is what they had. They had this all the time. And I asked the guy who was making the food, I said, what is it in there? And he said, all it is, it's a mixture of garlic, roasted garlic, and butter. So I start making it, and I leave it in the fridge so it wouldn't spoil. And when I'm making Asian food, I take it out and I use it. And it's always good. So far so good there. I have some Chinese seasoning here that I would use, some Chinese seasoning. I have the chow mein here. This is a mixture I made for the chow mein. And I had the pepper shrimp here. I'll cook this later. I'll make this in 2 batches because one of the batch I'm going to add pepper and one of the batch I'm not. Because for the people who like pepper, they're going to have theirs, and the people who don't, they'll have theirs too. So that would be for that. So for here now, this will continue cooking. This will take the longest, and that is why I put that up the first. I'm going to add more seasoning to this as I cook it and I taste it. I'm going to add some soy sauce, some of the garlic ginger, and some tomato paste, and a little golden rice. As I cook this, I'll add some more stuff to that in the last, just to make it a little more flavorful, because all in all, it's a huge pot of chicken. So I'm just going to make sure. So now I'm going to get me an onion. I'm going to get an onion, because I'll need an onion and tomato. And this is some tomato that I'm going to use to make the pepper shrimp onion. I forgot to get peppers because I had peppers, and I used the peppers to make the fried rice, and for the fried rice and the chow mein, I just simply forget to take up another pepper for. So I'm going to wash these. And I'm going to use this here. And so far, this smells good though. It smells really good now, until I'm figuring out it's not even halfway done, because but it's white chicken, so it's going to not take that long. So I have to tell everybody thank you for supporting me, for subscribing to the channel, for liking the channel, for taking care of for accepting me. I am so touched. I am honored and I'm grateful. And I am beside words for all the love I have been shown. Um, the person who called me from Chaguanas, Trinidad, I appreciate you so much. I can't remember your name, but I'll remember it for next time. But I just want to shout out to you, to the lady who stood up to the guy for me online and told him, but it's just I've been living here so long, so things could change. I appreciate you all so very much. It's mind-boggling to think that just a few maybe a month ago, I didn't know anything about doing this. I still don't know a lot about doing it. I'm still learning because I've always been involved in a lot of charity stuff, and I've always been in front of the camera, but not me myself doing everything. Because with the restaurant, I've always been asked to do stuff for the community, and I've been always grateful, and I've met some really interesting people. I've really does. Years and years ago, I had these people reach out to me, and they asked me to cater an event, and I did, and when we went to do the party, it turned out it was for Denzel Washington's wife and Samuel L. Jackson's wife. They were doing a play called Two Trains Running at Cascade, the True Color Theater at Cascade. It was just so mind-boggling. I've met all these people because of Tasa. Thank you. My awesome husband went in the refrigerator outside because he bought this for the restaurant and he bought me one. So I am going to completely, totally wash this off. Wash this pepper out and have it and use part of it, at least part of it for the... Thank you, baby. So the restaurant has been very good to me. I have met the person. I was telling the audience and my people, you are not the audience only, you are my friends now. About the time I got to meet Dr. J, Julius Irvin, and he called me and he asked me to come in and do the party. It was called the Legends Ball in Atlanta. Now I had always known who Julius Irvin was because my brothers did the basketball thing. They were older than me and they did the basketball. So I know of Julius Irvin and I know he was the one who invented the slam dunk. But I didn't know Julius. And so when he called me, I thought it was a prank, and I went and then it turned out it wasn't a prank, and I ended up doing this. And I've met Julius, and because of that, I've met so many of the NBA players where right now in Atlanta, one of my dearest friends is with the NBA, and she was one of the first women of color to become so far up in the NBA. So I just want to shout out to my girl, Melissa, and her daughter, who is my granddaughter, as I call her, Marley, and I love them from the bottom of my heart. They have been amazing to me. So sometimes in your line of work, you meet the people that would become your friends, hopefully forever. You never know, because God have a way of working things out for you without you having to lay a finger on it. And when you think it's not happening, that is when it's working. That is when God is doing it for you. So over the years, besides Julius Irvin or Denzel Washington, Sam Jackson, oh man, I have met so many celebrities. Either they come to the restaurant or I have cooked at them sometimes. I've met a lot of them, and some people would you're out in the streets and some you're Tasa. And it's always nice to know that they come. I love your food. It's always nice to know that because you are working hard and you want the restaurant to be a success. So when people tell you that they love the restaurant, it makes you feel good. So I just wanted to tell everybody thank you. For those who are just looking at the channel and have not subscribed yet, please subscribe because I cannot move to the second part of this operation without subscription. You have, in order for YouTube to be able to accept me as I am not just a joke or I'm just for a minute, I have to have the subscription. Subscription does not cost anything, it's free, and sharing is free. So if you could do that. Also, I have a nephew, his name is Patrick T, and he cooks as well. He have his own channel. It's Cooking with Patrick T. If you could just look at him and give him a subscription, a like, a follow, that would be nice because he's awesome. When I was starting this channel and I didn't know a lot, he and his girlfriend was really amazing to me, and I just want to shout out that and say thank you, Patrick. I love you, I appreciate you and your girlfriend. So all these people who have been really there for my daughter, my husband, my staff. I want my brother Paul, who makes the doubles and people love, and he does the cooking by Tassa. He's threatening to leave me and go back home. I hope he doesn't, but I could not do what we do without him. I really, really couldn't. So I just want to say thank you to him for that. So this chicken is still letting go water, and I'll tell you why. This is like because it was in the freezer. I had cut it up and put it down, so it was in the freezer. But as soon as this water has burnt out, this will practically be done. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to put the kettle up, so when I'm ready for gravy, the kettle will have boiled. And I'm going to have this here. But this, I have to taste this for salt when I'm done, and by the time it burns out, and then we'll add some gravy to it. Not a lot because we're eating it with fried rice and chow mein, potato salad, boiled plantain and sweet potato. So we are eating it with that, so we don't need gravy and something like that, but we need it to be cooked. So that's it there. So that is almost ready. While that is doing, I'm going to take this pepper and I'm going to cut this pepper up. And for the pepper shrimp, I'm going to cut it up for the pepper shrimp and cut up the onions and tomatoes. There'll be two different pots I'll cook. I don't want to cut it too big because shrimp doesn't take long to cook. And I don't want the peppers to remain very, very hard. Now, it's okay to eat peppers raw. I just don't like it. I can't lie, I don't care too much for vegetables. Now, I like the curry, like baigan and bodi and aloo and stuff like that. I like them kind of thing. My husband, not too much, but I do. And that's the Bakpa girl in me, you know what I'm saying. And, but I just want these for color, but so who like it can eat it, so that's why I'm cutting. Tomatoes will cut a little bigger because the tomatoes will melt almost immediately. So I'll cut the tomatoes like this. So by the time I put it, it would be enough. Pepper shrimp is a big thing in Trinidad, and as you know, everybody have their own recipe for pepper shrimp. Everybody have. You could put carrots, you could put whatever vegetables you like in your pepper shrimp. I usually, if I was just cooking it for us, I would leave the shells on. But I couldn't leave the shells on because the kids wouldn't be able to eat it, because my nieces will be there because it's their cousin's birthday and they are going to bring their children. And I want everybody to be able to eat this. So that's why I cut this. I cut the tails off. I took the tails off from the shrimp so that it'll be easy for everybody to eat. The chicken there is mostly thigh, but a lot of it is boneless thighs as well, because not only does the kids doesn't eat the bones, my son-in-law doesn't eat anything with bones. So he can be able to eat this because, so if you notice in the meat, there's some bones, but mostly meat. So this will be easy, so everybody can have some when they are ready. So this is almost done boiling out. This is almost done. So I'll tell you something. This pot is the smallest of the pot that we cook in at Tasa. So when my husband went to Tasa last night, I said, babe, could you bring the smallest of the big pots for me to make this chicken in? Because I don't want to have to do it twice. So this is the size pot you usually cook. My mother call it bandara size pots. And that is literally because you cannot cook, especially for a buffet style restaurant, in small pots. And Tasa is ultimately a buffet style restaurant. It's a roti shop, but it's a buffet style restaurant. So, that's one of the reasons why so many people come to Tasa, because nobody had never seen an all-you-can-eat buffet restaurant. Before COVID, you could serve yourself. But when COVID came and the threat of people getting sick because people weren't washing their hands, and my husband and I made the decision to serve the people. So we turned the buffet around facing the inside, and it's still all you can eat, just we serve you now. So it's safer that way, and I do not think I will ever change it back. Even not that the threat of COVID is over, I don't know if that will ever be, because my cousin in New York, Suzanne, she just COVID and it's been hard on her. So I know COVID is still alive. And I just want to shout at my cousin Suzanne, who is there and not feeling well. I love you, and this too shall pass. I know it seems like it's not, but this should well pass. Suzanne is the most amazing, truly, truly one of the great loves of my life. She's an amazing woman. So the wastage with doing the buffet for yourself was staggering. We would cut up over 2,000 pounds of chicken sometime in a week, but didn't sell half of that because people just took it because it was there, not because they were hungry or they can eat it, but because it was there. So we will throw away we had a lot of wastage when people serve themselves. So for us, when COVID came and we turned the buffet around, we realized that it was more economical for running the restaurant to serve people than to do it. So we are going to leave it as is, at least so that way we can offer affordable prices, because there is so much less wastage than we had before. So know that when you go to a buffet restaurant, is that it's difficult trying to maintain the integrity of the buffet and the price when so many people waste. So you see, this is almost ready. It's almost it's not completely, but it's almost ready. I would say 5 minutes again. This will boil down, and then I'll add some more a little more different seasoning to it. I have to taste it before I add any more soy sauce. Now, I like to put soy sauce on top too, but I cannot do that because soy sauce is salty. So, and I want to taste it for salt. And definitely, if I want to put some slap your mama, I have to taste that. So, because I have salt in it, but I'm just not sure of how much salt there is. So this is, and this is what it is, just a pot of stew chicken. We have to get a big pan to empty this, to get back the pot to do the fried rice. Okay, so we are good here. So leave that there for now and let it continue here. Let it continue here. I'm going to see, and let me see how this goes. If this is moving, I boil this for 10 minutes. I follow the package. I boil it for 10 minutes. And so that it's supposed to take out some of the starch so it doesn't stick. But that was a lie. It's stuck. It still stick. So, but it is what it is. I didn't boil it beforehand because I was afraid of that. I just took it out of the fire because I wanted to get some stuff organized so that the video wouldn't take, and I'll get the food to my daughter as soon as I can. The rice is boiled. It's already been boiled the rice last night. It's already outside in the refrigerator. My husband had to get the shrimp is seasoned. There's not a lot of seasoning in this. There's just some soy sauce, a little sesame oil, a little touch of green seasoning, some ginger and garlic. And that's it for there. That wasn't a lot of seasoning. Of course, you saw this. Of course, you saw this. So this is what we have here. This, as soon as I'm done, as soon as this is done, I'm going to start making the chow mein. And the last thing I'm going to do is a fried rice. And we are going to be awesome. So I have this. This is the sweet potato and plantain that I boiled. I boiled those last night because the sweet potatoes from Trinidad takes an hour to boil, and I would not have an extra hour this morning. And with the size of the pot that I was using to cook this morning, I needed to free up the other side of the stove to do that. Now, if I had to, I could, but I didn't want to have all of that to do this morning, because by the time I'm done cooking, I would have no time to enjoy myself. I would be completely, totally tired. I'll tell you something. I don't know if you all have noticed that with you all. When you're younger, things look so much easier. When I was younger, I would cook this in a heartbeat and more. Now, it is not as easy as it used to be cooking all this food. Because you have to cut up the chicken. And I am the kind of woman, I do not like help. I do not like my husband help. I don't like help. I like to cook my own food because my daughter always say, she never learned to cook because I was too busy doing it myself. And in hindsight, I regret that because that would have been an awesome thing. And I should have, and I will always encourage mothers out there and fathers, teach your kids to cook. Have the patience. If I can't go back in time to change it, but if I could, I would. I would go back in time and teach Dania how to make Trinidad food. She can cook from recipes, but how to make Trinidad food, I would go back and teach her. Because as for me, I don't know after I am gone if Tasa have a life, because not everybody have the love to cooking all this food again, or making it easy and not making it into a big world. My brother does, but whether he wants to do it, I doubt it. And none of the kids this far has really decided this is for them. None of the kids this far have decided, well, this is for them. So far, I can't say what will happen later on. So this is almost done. Now I'm going to taste this and see. And leave it a little minute again before I taste it. Let a little more of the water boil out because it's almost ready to be done. All I need is to boil it a little bit, add a little more stuff to it. Let me cut up a little more of this peppers, these beautiful peppers that my husband brought, and put a little peppers in this too. And this is a beautiful pepper, baby. And then I'm going to cut this, but this one I'll cut into smaller pieces, add some to the stew chicken, and then add that next half of onion to the stew chicken too, because I want to make it not kinda, but close to like a Chinese chicken, even though it's stew chicken, because remember we're doing fried rice. My daughter said she's going to purchase some other meats, so I don't know. So I'm going to cut this piece of onion here and see how far this goes towards making it a little bit Chinese. Okay, so I'm going to throw this in here now. Throw this in here. That is it in there. And see what's going on here. That smells so good. That smells so good. So I'll tell you something. If you notice, when I had chunked this, it wasn't brown. And a lot of people would think, well, that's not a good color when I chunk. But what I have noticed from cooking, if it's too brown, when you chunk it, it gets darker and it sometimes have a burnt taste when the sugar gets to burn too much. Because while it's cooking, this is definitely going to get a better color. So don't worry. If you think the chicken is not what you want it to be, don't worry about it. It's going to come in. Not a big deal. So I'm going to taste this. That will have to get a little salt. It looks like it's going to rain, my love. I don't know what the kids going to do about the pool if it's raining. It doesn't look like it's going to be a pool day. So I think I can add a little bit of this slap your mama. If you could take it. I don't want to add too much because slap your mama is spicy. Tomato paste and a little soy sauce. Just a little soy sauce, not a lot. Just a little. And some peas. That's it. I like paste. I like ketchup too, but I prefer paste when I'm doing stew chicken. When I'm doing anything stew, I prefer tomato paste. When I'm doing some stew here, it's right. Is that there? I'm going to take a little piece of this golden ray, not a lot because I'm not a big. Okay, so I'm just going to add that. Then I'm going to taste this again, make sure everything is good, and then I think that just add a little water because this doesn't have to cook anymore. This is completely done cooking. Completely done cooking. Okay, so that is done. Let me taste this one more time and let me see if it's done. Totally. All I need to do is to add a little bit of water to this. If I had chicken stock, I would put a little bit of chicken stock in it just to make the gravy, and I'll be done. I need a pan to put that in there, and that is done. So this has been boiled, so I'm going to let it sit here for a minute and let that continue. Do you have a pan? Where is the pan? What that mean?
Do you want to just put it aside? And
I want the pot.
You need the pot?
I need the pot to make it. I only have this pot. I don't need. I need to use the pot for cooking the fried rice and the chow mein. This is the only big size pot that I have. Can you bring 3, baby? Okay. Coffee is cold. Okay, so this, if you notice here, it's already let go. You could see only a little grease now, and it's completely fried. I don't want to let it stick because I don't want the taste of that in it, but this is completely done. This would have finished a lot faster if the chicken was not cold. The chicken needed to come up to a different temperature to start cooking. So if this was room temperature chicken, or if I had taken it out of the fridge earlier, it would have been good, but I didn't. So I'm just going to add a little, not a lot, just a little water. That's enough. to that. Definitely no more than that because I don't want fried rice and chicken with too much gravy. Fried rice and chow mein with this chicken is too much gravy. I don't want that. And this is done. So I'm going to turn this off here. This is completely done. And this is ready to go. Okay, so for my sisters who want pepper, there would be pepper there. And you can add pepper to your food. And, okay. Okay. So I'm going to take this here, empty this here. Okay, and that's it. Look, the spoon there. You can just put it together for me. And this is done completely. Perfect, honey, right? Right, that's it. That's all we need. A little stew chicken. So I'm going to wash this pot right here. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to rinse out this pot right here in this sink. And then I'm going to start doing, the other stuff. But before I do the other stuff, I had I had this here, put that up, get a paper towel and dry that pot completely. Wipe that pot off completely. Completely wipe this pot off so that there will be nothing leftovers in this. And that's it there. So let's just completely wipe that there. And I need another. I need it. So this is hot in here. I'm going to add a little avocado oil to that, just a little, not a lot. Little avocado oil. I'm done with this butter. I wouldn't need this again. And I'm looking for the sesame oil, and here it is, the sesame oil. Sesame oil. I have the sesame oil. This is ready. I'm going to take some of this, put it inside here. Get a spoon. Put a little bit of this ginger garlic inside here. A heaping tablespoon and a half, because that tastes good. Take another spoon and just do it like this, so it would not it wouldn't burn. I don't want it to burn because garlic burns easy, very easy. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to take some of this butter that I told you about that I made, the garlic butter, and I'm going to put it here as well. Yeah, a little more than that because it's a big container of that. I'm going to take the veggies now and I'm going to throw it in there because this wouldn't take long. This is a quick cooker because you don't want the veggies to overcook. You don't want the veggies to overcook. So this is going to cook quick. This is easier to do with this big spoon than with a tongue. So this is going to cook quick. And so you just keep turning it. As for the garlic and the ginger and the butter to get combined into the veggies. So I'm guessing I have to do something else with this thing. So I'm going to use this hot water into this so that it will become easier and pliable. And I'm going to use this here. So this will become very easy to use when, if I add some hot water to it, because it's not easy to use now. It's very not easy to use right now. So this is it here. I'm going to throw this inside here, and that will be ready, and I'll use that from there. Oh, see? It's completely ready to use now. Completely ready to use. Yeah, that's fun. See? It's become, see? It's not sticky anymore. It was very sticky just now. So I had a kettle boil already. So I just throw it inside there, and I will be able to use that in a jiffy. Because that was, see, that's a nice little easy trick. So to make the noodles pliable again. Doesn't take much. A little bit of hot water back into the bowl with the colander and there. So this doesn't have anything. So now it just have the butter and the garlic and the ginger. Now I'm going to take some of this Chinese seasoning, and I'm going to use some of this Chinese seasoning into this. So I'm going to turn this up and use some of this Chinese seasoning in this. This is literally what it said it is, Chinese seasoning. I bought the big bag and I emptied into this. So I'm going to take 2 tablespoons and add it to this, and I'm going to turn it up. And this vegetable is almost done cooking. So this vegetable is not going to take long. That is done, complete cooking there. I'm just needing the salt to get incorporated into everything else. And then I will add a little soy sauce, but not this dark one. I prefer to add this less sodium soy sauce, the Kinkerman less sodium soy sauce. It have good flavor without the darkness and without the salt. So because I already add the Chinese salt, so I don't want to add too much salt. So this is done. So I am going to take this Chinese noodles that I have pre-boiled, and I'm going to dump it into this now. I'm just going to dump it into this. Put back this here for now. And then I'm going to have this done. This is, see, this is as easy, as quick as this is. So the fire is still on. Smells good. You could smell the Chinese seasoning and the garlic and the ginger. You could smell all of that. It's not hard. It's not a difficult dish to make. It's a time-consuming dish because you have to cut up all the veggies, and if you have somebody to help you, it makes it easier. Or if you're not a control freak like me, it's easier to do that. But I'm going to add some sesame oil, maybe 2 tablespoons, some sesame oil to that, and then I'll taste it before I decide it's yes, it's done, no, it's not. So let me taste it first. Let me get a fork and let me taste it. Let me get a fork and taste this. Needs salt. It needs some more salt. It needs some salt, and it needs a little sugar. It needs a little sugar, like most Chinese food usually do. Just a little, not a lot. I don't want a lot of sugar. I don't want the food sweet. And put some salt in this. me turn it up now. Turn the fire down some so it wouldn't start sticking. And let me see how far this goes. One more time. That's good. That's really good. Okay, as I told you at the beginning of the video, this will be a two-part video, so I'll come back in the next part of the video with the pepper shrimp and the fried rice. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.